Hey guys, this is Ronnie P, Pilot Gardener and Reefer. Just wanted to give you guys a little update of my Red Sea Reefer 250. Just kind of show the progress. Not a lot of progress, except that my water parameters are kind of stable. I ran some tests on it the other day. All the parameters were in check except nitrite were a little high. So anyway, after a few days, they're starting to drop now. And I think that could be due to just a little extra time and also the corals that we put in the tank. But anyway, my green star polyp up at the top here, it was a little stressed out the other day, I guess maybe 2 days ago. Like in the middle of the day, it was kind of all sucked into its, into itself, and wasn't really coming out much. But yesterday it came out and was looking really good, and it actually looks like it may be trying to move a little bit out onto the rock, like it may like the rock a little bit better than it likes the little frag. I guess you call it like a frag stand that, so you can mount them in your tank. But anyway, it looks good today. It was like this yesterday, and today it looks like it's about the same. My green frog spawn, it just looks like it's just happy to be here. No problems out of it. It's been this way since day one that I've put it in the tank. I guess they've been in here, I guess now for about, I don't know. They've been in here nearly a week, I guess. Not a lot of action on the mushroom. I guess that's going to kind of, take some time, be a little slow going, but eventually I guess it'll kind of take off and start growing over this rock, hopefully. My little zinnias, they seem to be happy. You can see them pulsating a little bit, and they're, they don't seem like they're stressed at all. They're kind of cool to watch and all that. But you can see my little zoanthid colony there. Hopefully it will love the tank and will eventually spread over that rock. That'll be pretty cool. Kind of a neat little color. I could imagine it will look really good when it covers that rock up. Now this right here is a green acropora. Now, the guy at the fish store was telling me that this was a pretty easy one to keep. Then I, was kind of doing a little research on YouTube with some of the aquarium stores that are out there that were talking about the green acropora, and they were talking about it being a very kind of difficult to keep. But I guess that could be due to lighting. So if you don't have adequate lighting, it may be kind of difficult to keep this one. But I have a really, really good light on this tank. I've got the Ecotech Radion XR30. Which, of course, is plenty. This is a super powerful light. It can take care of all the light spectrums. Everything's all timed. I've also got the, the little Wi-Fi unit. I'm trying to think of the name of it. But anyway, it's a little box that'll allow you to communicate with the Radion from your phone and will allow it all to connect into the internet. But anyway, everything's looking pretty good. I put a couple of snails in here, and they're actually under the sand right now, but they'll come out and just kind of go all over the tank. But they've done a pretty good job of keeping the algae off the bottom. I've got a little bit of growth going on right now as far as algae in the tank that started yesterday. So maybe it's just another little phase of the tank kind of cycling. These fish have been in here for about 2 weeks, and they are eating, they are healthy, they seem to not be stressed out. they're starting to get used to me feeding them. Now they do kind of fight with each other a little bit, but for the most part they stay together, and they seem to be okay with each other. I'm sure that'll get better the older they get, hopefully. I'm probably going to wait probably a couple of weeks before I add any more fish. I might add a couple more corals. If any of you guys out there that are more professional at this than I am, if you guys have any suggestions on what I might want to add next, or any like maybe some suggestions on where, to place something in the tank, just leave a comment. Just let me know what you think. That's part of why I'm doing this, to learn and share some of my experiences with reef keeping. I've kept an aquarium, in total for about probably 7 years. So, keeping a tank is not completely new to me, but, being a so-called professional reef keeper, I wouldn't really say that I was ever a professional at reef keeping. Now, I had a saltwater tank for about 5 years, and I did have some corals in there, but, I wouldn't say that I was a pro at it by any means. Now, what I did keep in there, most of it thrived in my tank. I didn't have much trouble, but the tank that I had before was, it was a a freshwater tank that I converted over to saltwater. So I had, all the hang on the back, overflow and, and all that stuff. And it just wasn't, what I really needed. I mean, it was loud. You could hear everything draining. The protein skimmer was a hang on the back protein skimmer. So, I mean, it was loud. You could hear all the bubbles, and, it just wasn't a very quiet tank. This one is almost silent. Like, the loudest thing I hear right now is the fan in my Ecotech light fixture. So, I mean, that's pretty cool. Like, I can barely hear any water in the overflow right now. So that's really cool. Now, I'm not running a protein skimmer on this tank yet. I will. I'm going to do that probably. I may buy a skimmer maybe in a few weeks. I didn't want to rush, into doing anything like that yet, but it's going to be an in-sump protein skimmer. So it'll have the silencer and all that kind of stuff on it. So hopefully that thing is pretty quiet. And I've also got one of those Reef Keeper, the little Reef Keeper light, the little brain, that'll kind of help you keep your reef tank up. Let me turn my light on and I can kind of show you. But you can see under here, the little box on the top left, that little device right there should be able to control my protein skimmer. And so this little box right here will control these outlets right here on this power bar. So I'll plug my skimmer into that, and I can tell that little box there when to turn the skimmer on. I'll probably have it run at night, just so it's not so loud during the day. Now, the Red Sea Reefer, I think pretty much all the tanks, they come with this little top off right here. It doesn't, like, it's working. It doesn't seem to work as good as I would like it to. I'm kind of thinking about taking that out and maybe adding another one of these Auto Aqua top off units and put it over here on the sump to pull the water out of this top off tank that came with the Red Sea Reefer. So this thing's like, it's got maybe 3 gallons of water in it. I went to PetSmart and bought this 5.5 gallon tank, and that's been pretty cool right there. But this little top off system works like a champ. So as the water is draining out of this top off tank right here, is pumping out of this one and refilling this one, just so that I can maximize the space under here, still keep this 3 gallon tank. I had a guy that was, told me, go to PetSmart and buy a 10 gallon tank and put under here. But there's just not enough space, and I didn't want to, they had one of those vertical 10 gallon tanks, but I mean, it would have been like way up to here, you know, and it would have been really difficult to get around there. It would have been hard to fill that tank up. I'd have been moving it around, and I probably wouldn't have been able to have gotten all the water into the 10-gallon tank easy. You know, it would have been right out here to the edge. So I really think this is the better option for this system, was to go with this smaller tank and then still keep this 3-gallon tank. So I've got 8.5 gallons, you know, top off, which is pretty good. I mean, it'll take, based on the amount of evaporation I'm getting on this tank in here, I could probably go probably a little over a week, you know, maybe 7 to 10 days without any trouble. So anyway, but everything seems to be going good. I may lower the temperature just a little bit in the tank. I'm not sure. Like, it's running about 79 degrees. I may try to bring that down to 78. And that might help a little bit with the algae that's trying to grow on the glass and all that. Like, you know, like I said, I'm not sure if it has to do with the cycling of the tank, you know, kind of going through all that process, or if the algae is from, you know, the lights and the temperature of the water. So if any of you guys know, just leave a comment for me. I'd be glad, you know, to get any advice I can. But anyway, tell me what you think. And, you know, but as of now, you know, the growth of my corals is kind of slow right now. Everything's just kind of acclimating to the tank. But anyway, well, thanks guys for watching. This is, you know, just been a little update, just to kind of let you see a little bit about what's going on with the corals. And like I said, the only issue that I had was my green star polyp kind of seemed like it might have got a little stressed out and kind of drew in on itself and just wasn't really coming out much. Stayed like that for about a day and a half or so. And but now everything's back, and like at first I thought maybe it was dying or, you know, having some kind of major issue or something with it, but I don't think so. It looks like it was maybe just a little stressed out. So anyway, everything seems to be good now. All right, guys. Well, thanks a lot for tuning in, and thanks for you guys coming back to my channel. The ones, those of you that are subscribed already and you're coming back and checking out my videos, I really appreciate that. And if this is your first time to look at any of my videos, I would really appreciate it if you would subscribe. I do post videos weekly. So subscribe, click on the little bell. You'll be notified when I do that. And thanks a lot, guys. Bye.